February 2020, Melly was involved in a multi-inmate fight inside the day room of his area unit and was given a DR for his role in the fight. October 2020, placed on a room restriction for refusing to go back to his cell as he was trying to hide while on the phone.
And developing now, there's a new push to get rapper YNW Melly out of jail. He's currently awaiting retrial for two childhood friends, but a new lawsuit alleges he's being held in inhumane conditions.
A major and very serious update has just surfaced in the YNW Melly trial, and this development could completely change the outcome of his case. According to new court information, evidence in the witness tampering case is stacking up fast, and legal experts now believe Melly may be forced to accept a plea deal in the main murder trial. Here's why this is huge. Prosecutors have officially revealed that Melly's ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, has agreed to cooperate with the federal government. Sources say she is now prepared to testify that YNW Melly was directly involved in witness tampering, a charge that alone could result in life imprisonment. With this kind of testimony on the table, Melly's legal team is reportedly preparing for the possibility that a plea deal may be his only way out.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
With the likelihood of a guilty verdict growing stronger, insiders say YNW Melly is expected to take a plea deal in his murder trial later this year. When the trial first began back in 2023, Mariah Hamilton mysteriously disappeared after failing to appear in court. Law enforcement searched extensively but couldn't locate her anywhere. It was later confirmed that Mariah had left the United States, avoiding authorities entirely. However, near the end of 2025, things took an unexpected turn. Missing her family, Mariah decided to return home. She booked a flight using her real identification, and that decision instantly triggered federal security alerts. Federal agents were waiting at the airport the moment she landed. Investigators believe Mariah knows critical details about what happened to Sack Chaser and Juvie, but for this specific case, that information isn't even the main focus. What prosecutors really want is confirmation that YNW Melly forced or pressured her to flee the country, which would directly prove witness tampering. After her arrest, Mariah struggled heavily while incarcerated. According to court documents, the only way she was able to secure her release was by agreeing to testify against YNW Melly. Shortly after accepting the deal, she posted on Facebook, writing, "Thank you to my village. I love y'all so much. God's plan, not mine." Court filings now confirm that evidence recovered from Mariah's iCloud account allegedly proves YNW Melly tampered with her as a witness.
Filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
But here's where things get even crazier. Juvie's father reportedly knew about the witness tampering long before it was officially announced. He spoke publicly about coded language and secret phrases that YNW Melly allegedly used, suggesting communication meant to influence witnesses behind the scenes. According to him, the signs were there all along, long before prosecutors made anything public.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person, and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
however, the worst possible blow for YNW Melly came when his co-defendant flipped. Reports confirm that Bortland has officially taken a plea deal, and not just that, he also agreed to a proffer, meaning he is actively talking to the feds. Under the deal, Bortland pled no contest to accessory after the fact, receiving 10 years in prison plus 6 years of probation. Legal analysts say this move is devastating for Melly's defense. According to court commentary, the judge ruled that Bortland must provide a factual account of the crime in order for the plea to be accepted. That means Bortland has to explain exactly how he became an accessory, which could involve detailing how Sackchaser and Juvie were killed. Experts describe this as similar to a gunner plea, except with the proffer agreement, he can't stay silent, he must fully explain his role. As one analyst put it, he can't just say yes or no, he has to sing.
I did tweet out today and people were upset. I said, this is a gunner plea. This is a gunner plea. This isn't a plea saying you have to tell on him, but this is a plea that you're going to have to provide all the details that they were missing to convict him. And that's why it's a gunner plea. Why do I say he signed a gunner plea? Because YNW Melly, and I watched the case, we covered it. YNW Melly's case is that, number one, you guys have not done a job to prove that this is actually they have proved, but prove that this is a homicide with this person being the offender. Also, the accessory after the fact plea confirms that Bortland, that's kind of like almost like a sub part of a conspiracy, except you weren't with the conspiracy at first. You came in after the fact. What that proved is that they came in. Oh my God, what that proved is that Bortland worked with someone after he acknowledged that a murder took place in trying to cover it up. You hear what I just said? When pleading to an accessory to after the fact, you have to acknowledge that the happened and you assisted someone or in some way to cover the. Now, if Melly's statement is, how do we know that? And then secondly, how do we know who did? Because they said it was a drive-by.
At this point, the situation looks extremely bad for YNW Melly. With Mariah Hamilton cooperating and Bortland testifying, Melly is essentially the last person left in the car as a suspect. Legal experts say it's becoming increasingly difficult to imagine a scenario where he avoids a guilty verdict. Even a professional defense attorney weighing in on the case stated that Bortland is almost guaranteed to testify against Melly. Despite any attempts by Melly's team to downplay it, analysts agree on one thing: the only reason prosecutors dropped so many charges against Bortland is in exchange for his testimony. And that testimony, experts believe, could be the final nail in the coffin for YNW Melly's defense.